the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today or what we doing today or whatever it is, it's gonna be good. Woo!
I love you all so much.
Just that's the first thing that
Adam and Eve.
we can see you now.
I know, and thank God.
Yeah, that's generally the response we get from everybody, but we keep it clean.
Hey everybody, look at me all little in the corner. Let's see if we can't make me a little bigger. Me and Rez a little bigger. Like, you know, even when I'm not here, when we're not here, I'm fucking around and experimenting and, you know, fucking things up. You know, because I'm what? Tammy too much.
Happy Saturday, silky smooth.
Same to you, Rezzy Pooh. Same to you. There's something, right? You know what it is? I know, Pop. I know. Good morning, honey. I love you. You know what it is? I have been trying to figure out how I made the mistake, but it was a good mistake when I had the bold black corners and then the bigger fonts. And I don't know what happened to that. Like, you know, I just don't know. Let me just say something here. That's good. I don't know. I don't know. No, we don't need to do all of that. I just, you know, I'm just not sure. Well, we could be circles. We could be squared. I'm not thinking that one too much. I don't know. You know, let's play with it. Let's play with it a little bit. Just could you play with it?
You know what?
But the fonts look a little better, right? Than they had the fonts, like where he's saying Tammy too much.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Right? That looks nice, but I don't know. That was a mistake. Okay. Yeah, but they need to be a little bigger, I think. Right? I don't know if I could do that. Look, if I magically disappear, it's magically delicious. It's not
the same thing.
You know?
Whoa.
It's an error. It's an error thing.
How was your week, Silky?
How was my week?
Okay.
Let's just say I went to work. Fuck, you know? Oh, I think that is what I was looking for. Because it's bigger, it's clearer. Or maybe, no. That's the old one. That is what I'm looking for there.
Look at Pop. Good morning, Elisa.
Hi, Elisa. Rise and shine, darling. That's it. Up and at 'em. Which one, Pop? The one that's currently displaying or?
The one that you had up that you said you liked.
The one I said I liked. Was it?
Yeah, the one that's the one that
this one.
Yeah,
Or was it this one? No, it's this one because it's bigger. Yep.
Big one.
We like the big one. Who'd have thunk it? Oh man, how was your week, Rez? How was your week? You're the one with the life here, so.
Well, a lot going on this week, all over the place. And I think that for anybody that got to Saturday and navigated this week, both in the world and your personal lives, hats off to you. I celebrate you. There's a lot going on this week, a lot to surf, a lot to dodge. It's almost like, your agility has to kind of got to stay on point. You're navigating things either physically, mentally, emotionally. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. But if you made it here today within the sound of my voice, you did all right.
Amen goes right there.
That's what I start to progress my thoughts, as opposed to get isolated on every little thing. I did have an amazing day yesterday, which kind of just...
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Just a lot of amazing things. And, I'll say this on a personal note. Sometimes people do a lot more in death for you than they ever did in life. And to that is something to be grateful. You don't waste your time pining over relationships that could have, should have, would have, sometimes in death, which kind of sinks into my feeling of that life as we know it is not complete. Once somebody stops breathing, I think the realm that they go into, this is my belief, my belief is the realm that they go into is elevated, hopefully in such a way that they are still present. We just can't physically, and, I know that's controversial for a lot of folks, but my answer to the controversy is, how do you believe in God if you don't believe in that? Right.
Right. If you do not believe in any after existence.
Right.
Oh, wait, I didn't mean to hit that. I meant to hit you, Elisa. You're right. That is very deep. And Terez is certainly a very deep thinking person, human being. And, I have my beliefs about the afterlife. I certainly understand that there is activity. I do believe that our energy, our spirit energy remains here. Somebody had said to me that the spirit stays here for 45 days. I don't think it's just 45 days.
That comes from the Bible somewhere, though. I think I've read that, or I've either heard that before. Yeah.
Maybe they are more like consistently here for 45 days. Like you don't go nowhere for 45 days. That's a possibility. And then you go on to wherever you go, but you get to come back and check on your loved ones or be present. If it's just that I don't think that you go wherever you go to do whatever you do. But this is one thing that I believe for damn sure is that, you know how they say, may you rest in peace? And I even say that, rest in peace. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you rest when you pass away.
Physically, maybe.
Right. Well, physically there's
around.
Yeah. There's no more body, so you don't need to, like people say, I'll sleep when I'm dead. You don't have to sleep because the body's gone. There's no sleep.
Right. This is a monkey suit.
Right. You're gonna be working. You're gonna be working. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Sandra. So many of our legends just this past 2 weeks, and I know some of that touches you personally, Pop and Terez. I've had my people pass away, like 4, 1, boom, 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 like that. People that I have known casually pass away, like we weren't tight,
right?
But I knew them, it's just too many to, and then there's people that I absolutely loved that just passed away. But it's just been, I feel like until I accept it, it won't stop. I mean, it's never going to stop. That people are always going to die, but the number, it's been
right.
Ooh.
Right. Yeah, these this was an extraordinary week. I don't, usually they say that death comes in threes, so you kind of look for that to drop.
So 5s and 6s and 7s.
Yeah, this is a lot in the last 2 weeks, like you said, and okay, so Kimberly is noting Chris Jasper, yes, Angie Stone, Jerry Butler, Dwayne Wiggins, Gene Hackman. Yeah, it's been a lot.
Yeah,
it's been a lot.
Gwen McCrae,
absolutely.
Roberta Flack.
It's a lot.
It's been crazy. It's
back
been
to back.
It's been crazy. And then, just the folks whose names have not necessarily been in headlights.
Right.
Right.
Well, rest in eternal peace. Prayers to their family.
Kim Keisha. Matter of fact, I just saw that Monifa's going to be on a cruise, I think, with Allure.
Yes.
Right, in July. So one of my dear friends, Kim Keisha Faria Caldwell, when I very first years ago started thinking of creating a podcast, and I wanted celebrities, and I started getting a couple of celebrities on, she told me, she said, I have a friend who's a singer, maybe you want her on your show. And I said, really? I said, okay, give me the information. And it turns out that it was one of the members of Allure. And some kind of way it kind of slipped my mind, like she and I never got back to it. But I was at her funeral, my friend's funeral. That one hit too hard. Just a really sweetheart. One of those people that make you think that you're the most special person in the world, and then you find out that there's 500 other people that you may think that they were the most people.
Love those people.
Oh my God,
those people.
Because I was like, but you don't know me and Kim Keisha. We go back, and she understood me, and they were like, well, if you really knew Kim, me and Kim go back, and I never saw you when me and Kim was hanging out. But you was not there when me and Kim were hanging out. And I don't hang out with no fucking body, but I hung out with Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. And lo and behold, at her funeral, Allure was singing. So, yeah, it's just a small kind of world.
Yeah. Wow. Sheesh. Oh man, Kimberly. Yeah, Mike, rest in peace, Mike. That's my man's and them. I think that we are us liner note kids, and I don't know, I don't know when you were born, but I can only speak from the perspective of a liner note kid, which JaVonne and I clearly were, in our love of music and in our day. And a liner note, just for those of you who are listening who may not understand what I mean, is the kids that were around when they did those things. It was before the CDs and the USBs, clearly. And they were the albums that had the liner notes that you would read, and you would get a little bit of the thank yous, you'd get a little bit of the credits, you get a little bit of what inspired some things, depending on who the artist was. You get your pictures, you had kind of like a little history, because we didn't have the internet way back then, so whatever you got was what you got, and then also in that, depending on how far back you go with music, a lot of the artists that we were purchasing didn't have the luxury of sitting on primetime television shows, and being seen, I can remember television as, I remember black and white TVs. Yes, I know.
Yes, absolutely.
Some of you may be shocked, but I remember, but I remember black and white TVs, and and being, and the importance of, and my mother, hope, bless her heart, making sure that anybody that was black that came on television, that we knew about it. We sat and we watched the Nat King Coles, the Julias, and and those folks. So Diane Carroll, we made sure that not only did we watch them in like a supportive, wow way, it was like it wasn't seen before, during the our time. So the time that she spent just like the time that she spent showing me magazine covers of different women that graced the covers, because it wasn't a lot of us. It could only be one of us. Yeah, the Jackson 5 had that was later on. That was like in the late 70s, but earlier than them, was like, I remember the first time I saw Julia. Ooh.
But the thing is, Corey was about our age, my age. I can't date you, but I could definitely date myself. It was like seeing a child that looked like me on TV. So I remember my mom would put on Julia and we would watch, and I just couldn't wait for the scenes where Corey was going to be on. That's why, here's an interesting tidbit. When I first did the podcast on Blog Talk Radio, I got the actor who played Corey on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that, well, he said a couple of things, and maybe some kind of, I really got to get my techie mojo back and just play some of those clips and just maybe add pictures of people on top of the audio to make it relevant. I mean, interesting. But anyway, one of the things that he told me is what he did in life after Julia. You would never guess what profession he went into. And I will say, still in the entertainment business. He worked in porn. As a videographer, actually. Behind the scenes. Very interesting. I don't know why I thought it necessary to share that tidbit right now, but we were talking about Julia and that popped up.
That is an interesting. I thought entertainers were something normal and still do. Yeah. Can you imagine life without it though? Can you imagine life without entertainers and or music? Like what? Like I can't.
That's like life without Black people.
Okay. It just doesn't exist. It ceased to exist. And I think that we take a lot of that for granted.
Yeah. Yep. All the time.
In the same breath, I think that a lot of us should be chronically reminded that entertainers are people too.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say this, and I know this is not going to be favorable. I'm prefacing it already. Some of y'all need to chill with these posts about Sister Stone, because it's outrageous. Her children are living and grieving, and her family and friends are living and grieving. And some of the shit that I've been seeing, like rolling through the internet, is real disrespectful. It's disrespectful. And hard to navigate.
Really?
The
only things I've been seeing is a lot of love and outpours of love and prayers and blessings to the family. People have been showing some of her earlier videos and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you see more than I do because I don't. But shame on anybody showing anything negative or derogatory about any fucking body.
Wait, hang on one quick second. I'm sorry. One quick second.
But yeah, we need to behave and do some real shit, you know?
You know what? I didn't, yo, I just got up.
Okay, you know what? You gotta mute your thing, and then what I'll do is I will do this.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Jay. I didn't.
It wasn't barking.
I didn't know that was.
Who you kissing? That better be your mother or Monifa. I swear. I swear.
I didn't know that was her. I just saw somebody come up on the front porch, and then they were gone. You know, and I was like, did somebody just walk in here? Like, did she close the door when she left? But it was her again. She was supposed to be gone like a half an hour ago, so I assumed she was on the road. And
okay,
yo, you know, I just saw something dart by, and I'm like, what was that? You know,
that reminds me of one time, one of my favorite personal Monifa stories. We were down at that, what's that place that excuse me, I'm sorry. Monifa used to sing sometimes with Tony Minaj's band.
Club Groove.
The group, right. So I was down there, and at the time I was hanging out with this sister named Michelle, or Michelle, or whatever she wanted to call herself. I don't know. Anyway, she wanted to be a promoter. She was she is a promoter, and a publicist. That was her thing. She wanted to be a publicist. Okay. And so she and I were thinking about working together. I was going to do some show promotions, and she was going to help me to publicize them. And we went down to the Groove. And Monifa and I just became friends. Like, you know, it was a recent thing. It wasn't like we had been friends for years at that point. But she already knew who I was and knew me, and I knew her. And she came up to me, and I introduced her to Michelle, and she said, "Hi, nice to meet you. We're Cheryl." I was like, Cheryl's at home.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I can totally see her doing that too.
But that's exactly what she did. I said, we're partnering up to do some work, some business together. She said, mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I think that's when I knew I love Mo. I think that was, I mean, I had already loved her as a fan. You know what I'm saying? I, loved her music, and she was always approachable and nice, and I dug her, But when she like hemmed me up, I was like, that's my little sis. That chick, that's that sister right there. That's that big little sister. That little sister that thinks she your big sister.
Yeah. We just have to work on her taking you to the side and saying it. We don't dislike the confrontation, perhaps not in front of.
It was hysterical to me. You know what? She cracks me up.
Yeah.
She just makes me laugh and in my heart.
Have you ever found yourself? This is a good segue, actually. Have you ever found yourself talking about, in today's time, the importance of relationships with people as it relates to communication?
I don't. I don't know. Say that again.
No, relation, like meaning the importance of like relationships. I feel
Like
like
romantic
now.
relationships
Let me give
or
you
just
some
friendship relationships?
friendships. All of them, because it's all a relationship. Like you can have a
Hmm.
friendship, you could have an intimate relationship, you can have a partner relationship. Intimate and partner can be two different types of relationships.
True.
Um, the soulmate relationships, friend relationships, they're all relationships. They're all ships of some type, you know. Um, that I think that in today's microwave society, where and the introduction to social media and the use of the term friend. Once upon a time, you said somebody was your friend. The only person that could tell you that it was not your friend was your grandmother or your mother. But now it's like with the whole Facebook introduction of friends,
Yeah.
that world, the fourth wall is kind of, you know,
Yeah,
obliterated in some sense.
it's kind of social media has definitely blurred the meaning of friend, but um for me, you know, different friends have different meanings. And so I used to say, no, she's not a friend, she's an acquaintance.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, I used to, but I don't even, I don't, you know what? Let's bring Gigi on, and maybe Gigi could talk about the ships.
The ships.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Gigi, how you doing, darling?
Gigi. All power
What's
to the
up?
peoples.
Coming in here looking like Sister Soldier.
All
What's
power
up?
to the peoples.
Hello, hello,
All
hello,
power to
beautiful.
all the peoples.
There you
That's
go.
right. That's right. I had to represent for the day. I still had to hit all three. So I was like, it is Happy Women's Day and Women's Month, right?
Yes,
So
it
I'm
is.
representing for Lauren Hill today
Yes.
and Black Power.
Internationally, that.
And at the end of this, look what it said.
Yes.
The
The
And
system
system
is
is
corrupt.
yep. And that looks sort of like the Angela Davis tea from back in the day. Let's
yep.
get off
Mm-hmm.
that.
So Gigi, let's talk about this relationship thing right quick before we hit the politics.
Yes, ma'am.
So friendships
Mm-hmm.
and relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Social media has blurred that terminology somewhat. There are people that I've made friends with, or let's just say I've become friendly with on social media.
Another term. Go ahead.
Friendly.
And you know, I was out with my mom in the Bronx. I had taken her out to lunch, and this woman, this person, came up to me and was like, "Yo, JaVonne." I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Yo, I watch a podcast and we're friends. We're friends on Facebook." And I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "What's your name?" And she gave me her name. And I was like, "Oh, okay, bet." We did the, the handshake. I said, "You want to take a picture?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, cool. Post it on your social media. Let's do it." And we did that. And I said, "All right, we'll talk later." And I thought, that's some dangerous shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So let me see. I've always made it a point of the word friend means a lot to me. I would even say prior to social media, people were misusing the word. I mean, Biggie talked about that, didn't he? Long time ago. So for me, I think people use the word friend just as loosely as they use the word love.
Wow.
Now, Gigi, let's go.
I'm
Come
just
on.
saying.
Say it. Say
Right?
it. Say it. Say it.
I will say I have one best friend, one close friend that I've known since I was 11 years old, Shannon. But I've known people throughout my life since I was younger. But I think once we've gotten older in life, you could really, to me, attest what friendship really means. When we were little, everybody was your friend. That's your friend, and he's your friend, and your cousins were your friends, right? But now that we're older, I think we take that word, at least for me, I'm gonna speak for myself. I take that word to heart just as much as I use the word love. I don't just say that haphazardly to people. When I say it, I mean it, just like I mean the word, when I use the word friend out of my mouth, it means just that. So I will say that over the years of the people that I've met, and like JaVonne and Cheryl and you, Terez, we've now spent more time together than the times I've met you in the past, right? There's even, like you said, JaVonne, there's stages of friendships, right? Because I don't just consider you a friend. Like, I would say that JaVonne is more than just a friend to me. Like, me and her even closer than Cheryl and I have been, and even Cheryl and I sang together on the choir points and things like that. But JaVonne and I had real deep, long like we'll just go sit in the corner and talk for hours, and Gigi and Cheryl be like, there they go. Like, we just be off in our own little world. And so I don't consider JaVonne just a friend.
I love you,
know,
Gigi. I love you. I love you, baby.
Right. So
I gotta do it like this because only one.
And those are the types of people in your life that you've grown closer to, that you start even embracing, as what you would say. They move from friend into family.
Yeah.
Right.
What constitutes a friend?
Someone I would say that not only that you trust, but trusts you, that you feel that you are able to go to in times of good, bad, indifferent, and you the same for them. I would even say someone that makes sure that you are on their mind as much as they are on your mind. I think that's important, because we sometimes we just going through life, and life is lifing, and work is working, and we just go through the motions. But then God gives us those moments where somebody will come to your mind, and then you be like, I gotta call them. I need to reach out to them, right? That's somebody I think you would say is a friend, because they're here in your heart, even when you're just going through life, right? They just pop up. And like you said, earlier y'all were talking about losses, and later today there's going to be a service for someone that I called a close friend of mine. Lynn, I'm going to miss her so much.
But you know what, Gigi, I haven't received any information about Lynn's services.
Okay, so I have, and I'm conversating back and forth through messages with her daughter. She only has one child.
Okay.
There is a link, and I'm gonna make sure that I speak to her to say, is it okay that I post the link on my page so that other people can have it?
Because Lynn had a lot of people that she touched. A lot of
people, yes. I'm grateful to call her my friend.
Yeah.
And she drove through here. We got to all see each other at her event that she had when she came back from down south. And she actually came back up north probably between 9 and 10 months ago, and drove through. And this is the moments when you say a friend, because she was like on the road heading back, and she was like, what you doing? And I'm like, working, I work from home. And she was like, I remembered you said you was between exit 7 and something, and I think I'm in your area, and I want to see you before I head back down south. And I was like, really? And she came by, and we chatted up for a minute. I got a hug, and her daughter asked, do you have any pictures? And I took a picture that day when she pulled up, and that's the picture that I sent. And I'm so glad and grateful for the time and moments that I had with my friend Lynn.
Gigi, I posted a video on Lynn's Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Please make sure that her daughter gets that video. It is an interview that I did with Lynn when I first was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to become more social, because the whole point of all of this is that I'm a hermit, and you know that. I stay in the basement. I don't go out. So it was for me to either invite people into the basement creatives or interesting people that I could interview, or I go out and videotape them doing their thing. I had Lynn come into the basement and talk about her life and her career and, you know, her desire to sing and all this other stuff. It's sort of like the one I did for Kevin, right? Kevin was the very first person.
I remember.
And Lynn was the second. And I posted that video on her page. Please make sure that her daughter gets to see it, because she talks about her life growing up. Not only is it video of her talking about herself, but I inserted pictures because I was first trying my creative little movie style thing, you know. So I know if it was anybody important to me and there was some almost like a documentary, a mini documentary of their life, them telling their story though, I would definitely want to see it. I wish I had that, like for certain people that are no longer here that I miss.
Yeah, I will make sure that I tell her. Hopefully she
Yes,
can pull it.
right there on her Facebook page. And if you need me to send it directly, it's on YouTube. So I could send I want her family to have that.
Will do. So that's what I feel as friends.
That was kind of deep right there. Actually had a dream about Lynn. She also used to sing background with you for Cheryl and I.
Yeah.
When we would do our little tour in a little circle. You know,
and we were on the video for marriage equality.
Right. Was Lynn in that video too?
Lynn and Deborah. Yes,
Lynn and Deb, were they? Oh my God. Oh my God.
So long ago. Yeah.
You know, I forget just about everything. But yeah, so there's your answer, Rezi.
Yeah. But from that I take battle tested folks. What I got from what Gigi said is folks that are battle tested, folks, and there's a reciprocity. She made a point of saying that, you know, it's not one way, you know, and therefore, you know, some pivotal moments. I think that, you know, in some degree, you know, under the guise of boundaries, right? Because I think that they need to be taught. You know, I have a lot of younger folk and children in my life, you know, that are learning like boundaries and or reiterating boundaries, you know, which is a friend of homie at the house. Exactly, no questions asked. Like, okay, or yes. Those are the people that, you know, that you never have to question, and when you do, it's generally when you get back out of public settings, it's like, okay, you know what? I don't know why I'm here, but I'll ask that question later because I just know, you know, I got to stand right now. You know,
that's Shannon, honey. That's Shannon.
Yeah, we all need one. If you're lucky, blessed to get one. If you have more than one, oh my God, you've just been rewarded beyond compare.
You know, there's a friend of mine who very much like Monifa, just tickles my spirit. Like every time we talk, I just find myself laughing hysterically. I don't know if she'd be serious or not, but she's funny as shit to me. And I told her also, you know, that I was having a little something going, you know, and she said, let me know when, and if you're out of commission, I will come and wipe your ass.
Ooh.
I was like, yo, dude, I love you. and she was like, I got you, in all caps. That I didn't even know what to do with that.
And those are the silent E folks, like you just know, you know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's like one thing to declare it, but you just know who those folks are. Yeah, and Pop, yes, he absolutely will roll up in an SUV. Don't test that gangster. Yes,
I can see that. I see that.
Oh, absolutely, literally that. Okay, literally, he's the man in black for sure. You know.
All right, Pop.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious, and it's absolutely true. You know. And you know, like you when you're younger and you're working out those perimeters in your life, right? And your mother or your grandmother may see you running with your little crew, and it's so amazing how they can always point out which ones ain't. They don't say nothing. They see you trying to, you know, do your thing or whatever, or if they restrict you from doing an activity and you go, Mom, but those are my friends.
They ain't your friends.
They ain't your friends.
And don't be bringing them in my house and don't be telling them my goddamn business.
That part. All the above. It's like that. First of all, my mother always had a first, second, and third. But first of all, that's not your friend anyway. Or she hit you with that as a smack to go back in your room. Because no, you can't go. What time is that? And then, and that ain't your friend anyway. You know, I'd be like, what? Like, but you know, they had some foresight.
And they was always right about the one they figured that you thought was your friend. They always was.
Yep.
Maybe.
But then again, you know, with age and wisdom comes discernment.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. And you have to, and discernment is something, is a muscle that you have to continuously work.
You remember the old folks used to say that no count?
That no count.
No count.
That no count son of a.
Speaking of no counts.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Here, Captain Chaos. Gigi.
I said I'm going to do this today. I'm going to try to smile through today because it has been a hell of a week, baby. I am telling y'all, this 6 weeks has been like, golly. Can y'all look?
Did you
y'all knows how much weight I've lost because I barely eat because this thing stressing me out.
Did you actually watch the State of the Union though?
Oh hell no! I wasn't giving him no screen time for that shit.
All right.
No.
So that must be a unanimous thing because none of us watched it, right?
I heard after, like I watched Reese, I watched Roland, I watched, different places, but no, I was not doing that.
I enjoyed Rachel Maddow's fact check though.
Yes.
I was like, oh, I know he was like, oh, he lied, man.
I love Rachel, but I haven't watched her either.
You didn't watch her either?
Nope.
Yeah, I did.
No can do.
I watched her fact check the next day.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched Don Lemon during the day.
I did watch the link that was going around, and I heard the Reverend Barber, and a call for us to unite, and that's on some real shit because we are definitely moving or Captain Chaos is trying to move us into
we're in tyranny.
We're in tyranny, but autocracy. We are headed in that direction. And I saw this clip. I really wish I had actually downloaded it because now I would not be able to find it. And y'all would see a bunch of shenanigans happening on your screen. Should I try? Tammy Too Much is learning to just rein it the fuck in. And if I didn't prepare it.
So proud of you, Tammy.
Thank you. If I didn't prepare it ahead of time, then just if it's that cute, then talk about it and try to describe it. But it was a gentleman who worked for the national park, some national park, and he was a biologist. And he, his job was to make sure that the park stayed clean and green and that there was no biohazard, so that people wouldn't get sick in the park and things of that nature. And, he really loves the country. So I don't know what ceremony or whatever the fuck he was at, but he was in the same place as some elites. And he had just been fired from his job, he and other people under this DOGE bullshit, right? So Elon Musk was sitting 3 rows behind him, and it got quiet, and they were, I guess, waiting from one person to the next person to come speak. And during that transition, there was nothing but quiet. He stood up and turned around and said, "Elon, do you think I'm garbage that must be taken out?" And Elon was like, "Well, who are you?" And he explained to him who he is and what he did, and that he loved his country, and he was fired, and there's no replacement, and just people will get ill. He wanted to beautify. What is his issue? He said, well, I don't think we need you. And the man said, no, I don't think we need you. And apparently Elon was sitting near a bunch of supporters of his and Captain Chaos, and they all started shouting at this man, you get out, get out, get out. So, I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about that. There's a person who is a biologist, right? Who took pride in keeping a park clean and healthy, who loves his country, and this foreigner has come and said, I don't care about your fucking parks and keeping people healthy. We don't need you. Fuck you. And people who may actually utilize that park are like, yeah, we don't need you. We'd rather die. Like, I just don't fucking get it.
All right, so I have something for you. I'm gonna read that I found that is perfect to that. Perfect to that. It's just a definition of what this is. It's called optimism bias. Right? Optimism bias or optimistic bias. It's funny you brought that up because this is what I pulled up this morning. Is a cognitive bias that causes someone to believe that they themselves are less likely to experience a negative event. So it's okay if it happens to you. It's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
So those people that were yelling and screaming, they don't see any value in that man because that's you. That's the Cubans, that's the Venezuelans, that's the Mexicans, that's the Asians. What's happening to you black people and been happening, oh well, that's not going to happen to me.
And there's some black folks.
And black.
That are like, well, they're not talking about me. Yes, they're talking about you. Like the people that was campaigning. We ain't seen none of them.
Well, yeah, we've seen some. Only go back and say, and I voted for you, and this is not, and I voted for you.
No, I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about the people who were on the campaign, who are politicians,
who they thought they were
going to get a seat.
Oh, you talking about those three black men that were kissing?
They are sitting their asses somewhere in a corner in timeout. Okay? Kimberly said DLG doesn't care what people do. Remember, they fired all the people who mined our nuclear warheads, then had to try to find them to hire them back. Yeah. And yes, FAFO is real.
That's why I always got me a bowl of something. Because I'm telling you, I just be like,
we all gonna be near.
Mims, make it make sense. I like that one too.
Yeah, you can't make it make sense, you know. But you know, one thing I did like was that, you know, there's this brilliant cartoon I think I put in my stories too. It's two red shirts, and one of them is Captain Chaos and the other one is Muskrat, right? And they're frat boys, you know. So they're like, you know, doing all this extra stuff and whatever. So, and then this other person that is in a Latin that's has a Mexico shirt on. So basically, they're you know, jostling them and, you know, beating up on them, whatever. You know, I'm paraphrasing it, but I think that we got a bunch of FAFO from Mexico, you know, that you know, that they weren't going to deal with. Now, my estimation is this too, you know, because again, this PR that we've all been fed for the number of years you are on this planet from the United States, us being the best at this and the best at that. No, it is all a lie. Okay.
Man.
The only thing that we have that may stand out, and I'll say stand out, I'm not going to say the best, right, is the fact that we spend more money for our military, right? Americans have a bigger defense and can loan, check out the use of the word, loan people and money to other people for destruction. So I don't know if you want to live a legacy of being able to destruction, but I digress. But out of everything else, the American way and all this extra stuff compared to other places that you're coming from. Okay. But when you look at what's been parceled off, like the fact that at any given moment, if Canada decided, I don't fuck with y'all no more, for real.
Let's turn the lights off.
Right. Turn the lights off.
Turn the lights off.
Okay. Turn the lights off. Okay. But they already like they're taking the whiskey off the shelves.
Yep.
That for some is the lights off, right?
Good.
But the idea that if they said enough is enough, done. Now, that means New York and a lot of that corridor up there, and I don't know which one specifically, but I know New York is affected. Y'all won't have no lights.
Exactly.
No lights.
But, well, let me be quiet on that. You know what? Let me just share one thing with y'all right quick on what I think about. I'm gonna let Jasmine say it for me, okay? How about that?
Oh, my girl. That's my sister in my head.
Hold on. Let me get her right now. Where the hell is she?
That's pumpkin spice right there.
Bad mama jamma, honey.
This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the up because I'm ready to get on with it.
And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe. We will make you rich.
You know why we fight with Greenland? Why we fight with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America.
We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security and international security. We have to do something with Greenland. We have to protect Greenland. We need Greenland because of national security, international security, world peace. And we'll have to do that.
Dear President Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, f*** off.
I think the future have a lot to offer to cooperate with, but we want to also be clear. We don't want to be Americans. We don't want to be a part of US, but we want a strong cooperation together with US.
And see I think that's true.
White and blue
Heard
and
that
green.
from Zelensky, right? We want, we appreciate your money, but let's just be clear. I mean, at least it's clear to me, I'll keep it separate, that we're playing a very dangerous game, and I think that colonization is real. It's been real.
And he's trying to expand that colonization. I'm glad you used that word.
But
That's
what
exactly
it is.
what it is.
What it is. It just, you're not saying it, but my thing is, you want to. So in order for us to be allies, I have to give you all my resources. And how will my people survive under the tutelage of what y'all want us to have? Like, clearly, like you Americans? Because right now, that's what we're doing, right? So what you're offering somebody under the like, I'll protect you if you give me your resources, or I'm going to assist those that want to demolish you.
Hashtag Russia.
Hashtag, yeah.
Okay.
So
if we can't even protect or take care of our states, how are we going to govern others? Like Kimberly keeps saying, Nebraska farmers are going bankrupt thanks to his policies, and corporations are trying to buy them out for pennies on the dollar. So it is mob mentality.
Of course.
So,
and see, the thing is this, our stuff under the American system, they don't give a shit about it. But here's why too, right? Because as long as we're suffering, we stay under thumb. So it doesn't even matter, because that's the idea, that not only does he want us under thumb, he wants other countries under thumb as well. You know,
and why?
So it doesn't matter how, but this is happening to the car industry, and this is happening to the farmers. Okay, farmers.
But you know why, right? We do recognize where all of this is stemming from, right? So y'all know when I bought this book initially, and it has gotten so good. Like, it is the last thing that I read before I close my eyes. It is so, whew. So I just want to read a few things from this. So the author of this book, she was Russian-born. This is Rebecca Koffler, and she was part of the intelligence. And she ended up moving to America, and then she worked for the DIA and the CIA, right? But she initially came from Russia. So she ended up writing this book because she had been kind of close to engrossed into and around Putin's regime and what their whole premise was from way back when. So there's a few pages in here that really will read to what you were just saying, Rez. When Russian strategists talk about information superiority, they mean all the above, plus having control over an adversary's perception of the battle space in wartime and his understanding of reality in peacetime. So they call that the masking, and masking by disinformation in peacetime, which connotates distorted, untrue, or half-true information. And I spoke a little bit about this last week, right? The Russians believe, consistent with the teachings of Sun Tzu, that the surest way of winning the conflict is to dupe the adversary into abandoning its plans to fight, or to defeat him by outfoxing him without a fight, which is exactly what Russia has been doing all along, right? The essence of Russian cyber doctrine is captured by the term what they call information confrontation, or IBP, a doctrine defined as intense confrontation in the information sphere aimed at achieving informational, psychological, and ideological superiority, imposing damage to the information systems, processes, resources, structures, and communication, and sabotaging the political and social systems to influence on the troops and population. Now, is that not so clear as how they are attacking everything, right? And utilizing the felon to do it. So she says in here that in addition, based on Russia's perception of U.S. policies, war-fighting campaigns in the last 2 decades, military exercises, weapons development, support of NATO expansion, to include former...
What you touching, Tammy?
Tammy?
Sorry. I did a bit too much, huh? Sorry about that.
That's okay. Moscow has concluded that sooner or later it will face Washington in an all-out kinetic war. Putin's war planners believe that the best way to get ready for such an eventuality is during peacetime. To do that, we call in the military intelligence businesses preparing the battle space. Information confrontation is one of the several methods that Russia employs to achieve this mission. And I just got one more thing to read. The Kremlin always believed that to retain power and regime, it must keep a firm hold on its population, both in what they think and how they behave. Having control of the information flow that goes in and out of the country has always been a priority. During Soviet times, censorship was especially strict. Those who did not have the correct opinion were persecuted, even jailed. Now, persecuted was what they did to that man, right? Standing up and saying what he said to Musk, then you have the mass coming after his own opinion, right? Those who did not have the correct opinion were persecuted. There is a word in Russia, the noun is a long word, which means those who think differently. Thinking differently was not allowed when I was growing up in the USSR. If you were one of the thinking differently people, you made sure that no one except your close family and one or two real friends knew what you thought. People kept their opinions to themselves and always maintained the party line in conversation, which is how they are continuously dividing us, right? Making sure that we cannot think collectively as one group, even within our own race. Even as Black people right now, we are so divided in what we think. Even though the facts are in a lot of our faces, what do? We still go against the norm being who we thought Kamala Harris was going to be for the people, and voting against your own interests, knowing that everything that we have brought to their attention, the things that y'all have spoken before I even got here about politics, the things that we see through some of the social media groups like Roland Martin, speaking for our people, to our people, still has not been a way to get the people that have been carved out to believe the nonsense that the felon and his party has been pushing, which is division, because they recognize that continuing that, they are pushing Russian propaganda and moving us closer to what Putin wants. Dividing us as a country gives him the power to take over the United States without ever creating a war. We are doing it to ourselves.
Well, it didn't, and thank you for that, Gigi. That's spot on. One, and I'll go as far as to say that we were a divided country anyway. What he did was lift the veil off of it, right? I think that at some points, I think I sort of remember when it was starting to happen, because people were getting ever so bolden again.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, wait a second, like I didn't expect it to not be, but to have it in your face,
right,
was something different. You know what I mean? Because I lived through a certain era of civil rights, and as a young person, and it's quite interesting to see and feel. And we may have dressed up a lot of things,
mm-hmm.
And I think that even now, when people say that they're getting rid of diversity and inclusion, right? How many people actually cheer about that, and support that? Yeah,
but I'm thinking, but they don't know what it. They don't know.
They don't know what DEI means. Exactly.
But check it. That's even worse, because what they think it means, is what they stand on. They think it means Black. And that's very telling, because you wouldn't cheer about something that you obviously, benefit from. I'm running into more and more Karens on the street, that just feel like it's their right to be in your business or to police you, and some I had an experience, and I did, and the only reason why I said an experience is because it did not escalate, because my mother taught me a really, really dangerous tool. Unfortunately, when she was teaching it, I didn't take it as such, because it was impossible to do for me, my personality type. But as I got older, I found that sometimes I can master it, and it's called the power of ignoring. And as a kid, I couldn't do it. I was like, but you don't understand. Couldn't do it. But in some occasions, it worked. And in this case, I'm a little compromised right now, on foot. And this woman was giving me a lot of that over a coffee machine at at my local shop, right? And she was going on and on and on and on and on. And sometimes you're just not in the mood to talk. It started off as my not in the mood to talk. I gave her a smile, like a hello, but I didn't want to engage. And she kept going on and on and on and on. And then the voice kind of had a little edge to it. So I paused for a second. I said I could really just give her a nice little, ear lashing, or I could just ignore her, because what she's craving is my attention on it. So then she can go, because it would warrant that. Because if I got off the way I want to, I would not stop until I got the, But instead I said, you know what? I don't have the energy. I just don't have the energy or the inclination. So I just kept on as if she wasn't even standing there. It was so polarizing even to me, because it was just almost like, the spoons are over there. And I went the opposite of what she was doing. And, just like, so she was like, she must be deaf. And then I hear her talking. Actually said that to the woman that was there. Oh, she must be deaf. Because I just kept on walking, and I felt so relieved in my spirit that I didn't have to like exert that energy. One, and she was still talking.
Flustered.
Walked away, and I'm like, But I mean, just I say this to say, so emboldened to their position and posturing.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go getting off? How do you feel like you're confronting an adult that you don't know about something that you are trying to make them do, or knocking on their car windows, or whatever it is, trying to, we never do that like 20 years ago.
And it's only, I heard somebody say something about inches, right? The world is made in inches, and that's exactly what has happened. It has been inch by inch by us allowing things to happen. And that's why when I've lost a lot of friends over the last, since COVID. Like I told y'all, I had that mild stroke. I woke up, I was a different person, and people just didn't like the new me. And so Javi has said to me, baby, you like become a mirror. People were accustomed to being able to say things and you not really say anything. Now I'm not complacent, right? If I hear something that is out of line, that hurts or harm those that I respect, I'm going to speak up. Now, mind you, I'm not going to be disrespectful to you in saying it, but I'm going to bring it to your attention that what you are saying is not okay, right? And because we as a culture have allowed certain things to transpire over and over and over and not checked it at the door. Way back when it was 5 miles away, now that it's only a couple of inches, now what do you do? Right? So we have to take ownership of that. We've allowed these years to continue to happen, these small moments in time, these little inches, and never doing anything about it. So now it's going to take us just as long to push back through that door, right? It makes me think about what happened to Representative Al Green. So let's go there.
Yes.
Now let me tell you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So there's two or three things. So let's do Al Green. Then there's a little bit of craziness in between, and then the other one that's probably going to take us all over the edge. But let's just start with Representative Al Green.
Okay.
Them two twits, when we had President Biden and President Obama in office previously, and those people wanted to scream all loud, hoop and holler. Here we go about the inches that I'm talking about. Democrats never spoke up and said, let's censure them, let's throw them out. Y'all allowed this to happen. So now when Representative Al Green says, you don't have a mandate to do this to Medicaid, he wasn't disrespectful. He made a statement that is true. And then y'all allow them to throw him out. All of y'all asses should have got the fuck up out y'all seats and went with him. But
exactly.
No, it was one here and one there and one here and one there. I appreciate the ones that did leave. I even appreciate the ones that said, fuck y'all, I ain't going, because those were even better.
Well, even if they would have stood up and turned their backs.
They did nothing. They were complicit. And then you had 10 Democrats. Who thought? You know, I'm not going to pay attention to the room. I'm just going to go ahead and side with the Republicans and say, yes, we should censor him because he stepped out of line. What in God's green earth is happening here?
And Jasmine reminded everybody, shit, he's an OG. Some of you motherfuckers were in diapers.
Correct.
This was diapers when he was walking and talking, and this was really about that life. And you know what? And I agree with you, everything that you said, Gigi, and then some, because it's kind of like, and this is the reason why, and this is what I've heard, the reason why people, younger folks, didn't even want to vote, right? Because they thought that Democrats were suckers. Because
they are.
Away with so much crap.
I'm sick of them.
I honestly love Michelle Obama as I do. That was probably one of the worst things she could have said to what's going on now in the real world. When they go low, we go high. No, sometimes it could be an eye for an eye, because
we can meet them where they are. We could at least meet them where they are.
Actually, Michelle did. I have to.
She retracted it. She
retracted that for this time.
You know, she retracted it. She had to retract it. Right.
So
when it was something that she said, it was in saying that and not lacing it with, and on occasion we may have to meet you where you are,
right.
Like without giving that, because it gave the moral majority the understanding that we won't stoop to your level, when in fact we probably could and should at some points. And it's not stooping, it's just meeting you
right.
Exactly.
Exactly. We are allowing this to happen. They're not fighting. If it's Jasmine Crockett, Ayanna Pressley, it's the what are their names? The ones in Tennessee. They have the same name. Oh my gosh. The one has the afro. The two representatives from Tennessee, they're the younger ones. I'm just saying, we don't have that many people. Even Bernie Sanders, he's been talking about this forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's been warning them forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they just continue to, like, I'm so sick of Jeffries with the freaking hand motions at this point. Like, dude, like, really? I'm gonna need for you to get out there and do something. I am sick of it. We need somebody like Jasmine Crockett that is the head of the Democratic Party at this point, because this is ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I called, I left messages. There's supposed to be some town hall. So again, I like to always push this, y'all. 5 Calls app. It will help you go through all of your legislators, the people you need to reach out. It gives you scripts. You can leave a message. You can speak to them, ask them to call you back. The 5 Calls app, download it on your phone. Find out they have some town halls for the month of March, starting from next week to the 20-something. Go to your town hall meetings, because my ass plans on showing up just like this. Because
Republicans are no longer going to be having town halls because their people are going out there and raising their voices. I think one of the problems is that the majority of us, and I'm talking about us people of color, do not believe that our voices will make a difference. And so we don't go to those town halls. We don't, I'm sorry, but on a large scale, we don't vote during off season. So
we have votes coming up now.
Exactly. So we don't get the House of Representatives and Senate when those elections, those midterm elections, and if it's not the mayor or the president, if it's just school board, we're not going to vote.
And there's one coming up next week for Burlington County.
Extremely important.
Yes. Even if they're only putting things on the books. We don't go to the
town hall. We don't do shit the way we're supposed to do it. And now we're in this situation because, quite frankly, when I recently responded to a post because somebody said, would somebody do something? Who's going to do something? And I'm like, we did something 4 years ago when we elected somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kimberly. Justin Jones and Justin Pierce, Piran.
Justin P.
Yes,
Yeah, the
the
Justin.
Justin.
The Justin.
I'm just
the Justin. Thank you, Kimberly.
Over, like do something. You do
Mhm.
something. We all got a voice. It's power to the people, not sit back and bitch to the people.
Right.
Get out there and go to the town halls. If you don't know when and where the town hall is, Google it. I don't know how many times we got to say it. We posted the number for people to call their Congress people. How many people have done that?
5 Calls app gives you everything you
I
need.
know this particular show is long, so if there's a snippet of this show that you think will inspire somebody you know, then fucking go to YouTube and cut that piece and share it.
5.
I'm not the only one that can fucking snip shit. But we have to be proactive in anything, even if you see a video that says something that resonates, share it.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing that Michelle Obama said that did actually resonate with me is, if you see something, do something. If do whatever it is that you do it, because now is the time to do it. And that's why we're back here, because this is what
the Black Eagle been saying. What are you gonna do about it? Stop talking. He been saying it. Rest in peace, Joe Madison, because he been saying it.
Yeah.
All right.
You feeling all right, Gigi?
No. I'm not. Okay. Hi, Brandon. All right. So what do y'all think about, the trans mice?
I saw that. I did see that. I wish I hadn't.
He doesn't know transgender from transgenics.
Transgender mice, child. That was.
And he's such a laughing stock. He's a laughing stock. So are his constituents.
Ignorant. He's fucking ignorant.
And then he makes fun of them. People laugh like it makes it. I hate being crass, but you know how it's just so many people on his. I'll use the term Bozak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they laugh like he's saying something and then when people come back and fact check him, sir, and we use the term loosely.
Right.
They tell him what transgenic mice are, and they've been used since the beginning of time to do things and research like we've been using lab rats. Those are what they're talking about, not transgender. Anything as it references mice. What are you talking about? But he's just laughing and like he's in command of the information and just and like I just watched the fact check Rachel Maddow afterwards and just go through.
Absolutely. Let me just
crazy.
Let me give
like
a shout out.
They removed the word
Rachel.
gay from everything and then pulled the gay from along gay, which is the plane that dropped the bomb.
Was named after the mother of the pilot who did some very heroic things in World War II in 1942. Her name was Eloise Gay, and they have now removed that because it says
you're gonna
gay.
remove the plane too now? Like what the fuck?
So, and I love this, Brandon. Brandon says the same way you search for music, you can search for where the town hall is, who your representatives are. Some of us honestly do not know who our local representatives are. We need to start asking people when you're sitting down chilling and talking to somebody, and especially if you're talking about this political stuff, who's your local representative for your county? Mine is Bonnie Watson Coleman. Who represents your you know what I'm saying? And put people to that. Well, if you don't know at least that on the close, then you gotta you need to find out.
You know something also, like women are going to have and I loved watching this video of them confronting one of, I forget the politician, whoever it was in the county, who voted for it. They found out that their politician voted for the idea that if you're married and a woman and your name is not the same name on your birth certificate, which
I talked about that.
They get married. They change.
That's HR 22. Yes, House Representative 22. Yes, I talked about that weeks ago, and people were telling me I was talking. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. Okay.
Oh, you knew what the hell you was talking about.
Oh, absolutely. Who said that you didn't know that?
Oh, please. I was on a TikTok, and the girl was like, "That's not going to happen. That's not true. I don't know what you're talking about." And then a week later, more people started speaking about it. I'm like, I gave up on trying. Look, I stay. Y'all know I'm every day, all day.
There was a representative who got shot down in a town hall because of that, and that went viral. And that's one of the reasons they want people to stop doing town halls, because not only are these Republican House representatives and senators or whatever that are having these town halls in Republican areas, not only are they being shot down and yelled at, but other people are being educated.
Right.
Because these videos are going viral. They don't want you to know what they're doing.
And you know, it's be careful of this new language that's coming about, right? And it's so generic and generalized, and it means nothing at the same time. Like when someone says to you, "Oh, that's not my understanding of that." Well, what is your understanding? Because what it says is this, right? Because these women were trying to drill down on what they knew would be imposing to their voting rights.
Exactly.
Says it. It's in there. And he said, I didn't read that. We're from I didn't read it to I don't understand it to be that, you know. And as opposed to saying, you voted for something that we are all standing here out of the time in our lives that we won't get back to challenge what this is. So we are saying this to you. So your job now, because he acted like he didn't want to get a directive. And at the end of that would have been a directive for him. We need you to go back and make sure it doesn't say that, and give us something in writing that says it doesn't say that. Because based on what they have written, if my last name, which is currently Watson, and I was born a Jenkins, if it is not Jenkins, I have to vote under my husband.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One vote in the household.
Right.
Give us something in writing that says it doesn't mean that then, if it doesn't mean it. Bring it back.
They're doing the same thing pertaining to Medicaid and saying that $880 million, because they're saying nothing is stating that this isn't that we're getting rid of Medicaid 800. But what it is that the Medicaid sits under a whole different area, which they told them they have to cut $880 million from. So is that just coincidence? That's the same amount of money?
It's a bunch of trickery and word salad nonsense and bullshit.
And y'all gotta think like this: if he was able to trick the presidency,
information,
House don't stand a snowball's chance in hell.
Disinformation.
So at the end of the day, don't expect to get anything less than tricks are for kids for everything else. Like if we're still looking for this man to make sense at this point, you're dang blasted. If we're still looking for this man to tell the truth at this point, we're dang blasted. Like again, and what he did was he did thank you. And from what I heard in the address, he just reinforced who is head of Doge, whereas before they denied it. You know,
said it was some random woman that was off on vacation.
The Frostic is lady saying, "Oh, everybody's," and he's sitting there doing his little generic smirk, and they're all clapping like this is the best. And I'm looking at them like, wow. So thank you. Just everybody, please just take that and then run it back into the court system, because whereas no one knew where it was, who it was, or why.
Look at the third. Look at him running for third. I told you, he was going to try to get in on a third term under right. And you know, I know.
Well, if they put something up that you could have a third term, then let's nominate Barack.
No, but see, they're making it so it's this way. They're saying it needed to be 2 consecutive for it to matter.
I see.
See, and because it was not, They're trying to make it so he can come and have his third 2 consecutive terms. Yeah, and they have a whole group that's formulating this now, that are putting this out. They actually were at an event talking. They had a sign up about helping sign to get a petition so they can make this House resolution. I'm saying
the only way to beat this stuff is to vote.
But if he calls something, you know that'll stop that, right? If
I understand that he is trying to stop us from voting. I understand all of that. But there's elections that are coming up now.
Which ones are you talking about?
I'm talking about there's 3 House seats that's currently
but it's not going to be enough now. It's not enough. First of all, we can't do anything with New York because she's still technically in her seat, and they're dragging it on purpose. The other 2 in Florida, yes, there's a chance. It still will not be enough because we also just lost a Democratic to cancer. So we are now again an extra seat. So it's not going to help in that manner where we were thinking it would. It's not. So unfortunately,
and I just want to put this out there too. I want to put this out there too. When you see him saying things like he's going to pardon that scum, that I'm not even going to give the universe the benefit of his name. You know, I really believe that words have power. So I try not to give life to certain people by saying their names. I just don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, that was my next thing that I wanted to bring up. But I said I thought was going to start.
So my thing with that is when you hear things like that, things to make us angry collectively, things that typically make us march. That's what they want.
That's what they want.
That's exactly what they want, so that they can kill us and start martial law. As we know, they hire people to start bombing or breaking windows in stores and looting. They hire people to do that.
Right.
And
you know how you know? Say that, JaVonne. How you know they know? How do we know that to be true? Because didn't he just say that they're hiring people to go into the Republicans to create?
Yeah, because
they speak to the things.
Everything that he does, he projects.
That's right. That's right.
That's the theme of a narcissist. You have to tell it, otherwise.
Always.
Yeah,
you can't.
So I just, I believe in a peaceful protest. I believe in marching. I believe in that, but we have to find another way. And if it's a virtual protest, but the best protest is an economic protest. You hold on to your dollars. Well, where are we going to shop? Well, where are we going to eat? Eat in your house. Go to the supermarket, buy some food and cook it. Stop buying clothes unless you absolutely need it. Stop buying shit to make you look good. You look fine. You already got color. You don't need makeup. Just fucking stop buying shit.
Yeah.
That's the best protest. That's the only protest that's going to stop this shit.
That's it.
Keep your money. Keep your dollars.
That's the only blueprint we have that has worked to make and enforce change.
Start growing your own vegetables. I'm getting ready to go and try to look up this thing to start learning, because I never had a green thumb for anything. Buying stuff again, people, for a bug out bag, which is a to-go bag. Try to look that up and see the things you have in case martial law is called. You need to make sure that you have a solar powered generator, solar powered pack for your phone and other small items that you can plug in. We need to be prepared, because we watching these things happening in real time, right? And you don't want to just be sitting around and be like you weren't told. You can't say that In the Basement with JaVonne and Terez did not warn you. Don't say that.
And share the information, because for as much information that you have around you, you create things like haves, right? Because what you don't want to be is a person that is so quiet about your haves that the have-nots, because when it goes down, if it all goes down, not only is it hard on your independent household, but the have-nots, the people that did not prepare, the people that you did not talk to, the people that you did not encourage, are going to be looking for some way. And survival is just what the fuck it is, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying that folks are going to be running up in folks' spaces, trying to get what they got to just survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not anything but nature. You understand? So I want to know that all my neighbors are prepared and my community is prepared, because if we're not, we implode on each other, you know, and it's going to be a lot of carnage involved in those tactics.
Well, that's coming anyway.
It's happening.
It's coming anyway, you know, and I don't want to like speak that, but listen, we're all inevitably in the same space if we don't get this piece together, you know, because we got to unify to stop it, or it's going to happen and it'll play itself out. You choose.
Yeah.
You choose. You know,
Yes,
and
right.
at the end of the day, that's why they're saying the power is in the hands of the people. The government works for the people, not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Not the other way around. And the only way they want this the other way around, and once upon a time it did work that way. It did. Sure. It absolutely did. But that is not a country nobody wants to live in, you know, under this capitalist thumb that you do, as I say, this dictatorship. No, no, and no. Because half the people that want to be in charge or that are in charge can't leave anyone out of a paper bag or they're coming out the rain. None of them. They are self-motivated and self-preserving. That is it. That is all. And they are under the understanding that nobody should exist, and everybody less than them or anybody that does not share the same thoughts, ideologies, and minimally skin tone is not worthy of being on the planet, much less having an idea or a thing, despite the fact that many cultures of color built this country, particularly African Americans, if that's how you so describe. But I'll talk about Black people, you know, because we weren't American until we were brought here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it is what it is. So we either got to fix it and fix it fast, and you don't have to. Like, I know communities that shall remain nameless. They don't all have a love affair, but what they do have is a united front.
That's
You're
right.
not piercing their systems that they have in place. You're not disrespecting where they come from without consequences. Think about that.
Yep.
You ain't got to have a love affair with everybody and everything. Like I saw some people, the boycott. Oh, we're not following with this one, and like it doesn't matter who it comes from. And then people were making it about the people that were like, it's not time to shoot the messengers. It's about the message. You know, I was so mad, and it just happened to be somebody I know. I was like, girl, if you don't shut the hell up off telling people that mess, this ain't about him. This is bigger than him. You're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What you talking about? Running folks, I'm going to all these stores. I was like, I was just like, wow.
So did you know that they came after Amy Comey Barrett, right? Because she went against something. So now she's no longer under their, I think her heart finally done warmed up, and she's seeing all of the real bullshit that's happening because she's been going against the masses. But now there was an EO signed to allow wastewater discharges from the Clean Water Act. Did you know that?
Discharge where? Into the oceans or into the water supply?
No, that they're allowing. I'm trying to pull it because I looked at it yesterday. It said we're reading about so much stuff, man. I have to find it. All right. U.S. Supreme Court weakens rules on discharge of raw sewage into water supplies.
Here we go.
That was 4 days ago. They did that. They that means that our water systems are no longer going to be governed under protections of us getting clean water anymore.
Well, they have we know they're gutting the EPA.
That's it. So that means that goes to those. There's some water straws. There's straws that you can get to put in your go bags that filter out the slush, so you can literally drink directly in areas that we normally would not be able to. Make sure you order those as well to put in your go bags, please.
Yeah, filters. Get some filters too for your home spaces.
Yep.
These people are trying to just destroy everything. Period.
This is why this thing right here that Gigi just pulled up. This is why I don't listen to this shit every day. How can you live a happy existence for as long as you have left, whatever it is? Because the way people have been dropping these last freaking couple of years, I'm going to say, you just don't know what tomorrow may hold. I don't know what tomorrow may hold. And I know that I already know what the fuck they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. You know, I remember watching The Matrix the first time and thinking that I damn sure want to live in a world of reality. But now that I'm getting older and achier, I'll take a little fantasy and forget about the bullshit and the shenanigans every now and then. Saturday morning, I'll take the right pill and see the reality. But this is some bullshit.
Let me tell you something. Anybody who says to you, if I can't run it and control it, I'll burn it down, take them out of here or yield them completely. And I said, when you yield them, and I don't care if it takes you 1 day, 2 days, I don't care. I don't care what I'm about to say. I'm holding myself not responsible for this because this is what I believe. One of the things of personality defect, that's what we're going to call it.
You know what?
Anybody who tells you that they'd rather burn it down than to either yield those people or take them out.
I agree.
Take them out.
I agree.
Because that's what's going on.
Wait, did y'all see this? Did y'all see this video, Rez, where the guy says, and this is all he says. I'm not saying that I would, but I wish somebody would.
I can see it. It wouldn't.
Not that I'm suggesting that somebody should, but I wouldn't be mad if they did. But not that they should. They shouldn't. Shouldn't they? You know, and that's it. And I mean, people from every side of everything understood what that man was saying. With that,
listen, we live with forces on this planet. We live with. Why don't we understand? Why are we so spiritually afraid to say that we live in the mix of demons? Right? We all know that. We can sit in church and we can talk about the demon, the demonic spirit. We live and walk amongst these motherfuckers all day. We do. Mm-hmm. We do. We're not sitting we're not sitting somewhere trying to rationalize with a demon. A demon has one mission.
Yep.
That's it.
Now, Rez, you said something.
Sit.
You said
ooh, Rez she in a mood today.
You know, it's the topic. So I'm about to switch it because I can only take with so much of it myself. And Rez is about to, what they used to say, Rez, blow a gasket.
Yeah, she is. She looks like she's about to blow a gasket. I guess I'd have had time to resolve all of this stuff through the week. So.
I didn't mean to push the damn button. You know, it's like the damn thing just popped up by itself. Like, so I guess that's the universe saying, okay, ladies.
That was
all right. So actually, I prepared two things. Right. One was our regular. Today is March 8th, so let's do Black History for March 8th. But since this is International Women's Day, I wanted to do a Black women's. I know, but it came right on time this time, Pop. You can't be mad at me. That shit just popped up. I was like, whoa. All right, let it rip. All right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Yup. Okay, so let's just do the darn blasted Black History Month. I hear you, universe, and I am listening. So let's do this one first.
As more and more African Americans began to officially enlist into the Union Army hospitals reluctantly employed African American medical doctors, surgeons, and nurses to provide medical care to Black soldiers. Many of the white officers that led the colored troops were uncomfortable with the Black doctors and nurses, but the Union Army was unable to always provide a white doctor in their place. On April 14, 1863, Alexander Thomas Augusta became the first of only 8 Black physicians commissioned into the Union Army. Born free on March 8, 1825, in Norfolk, Virginia, Alexander Augusta first worked as a barber. Interested in medicine, he applied to the University of Pennsylvania, but was denied due to his race. He traveled to Toronto, where he studied at the University of Trinity College, and in 1856 he graduated and established his own medical practice. At the onset of the Civil War, Augusta wrote a letter to President Abraham Lincoln offering his services, stating, "I beg leave to apply to you for an appointment as surgeon to some of the colored regiments, or as physician to some of the depots of freedmen." Augusta returned to the United States and was commissioned into the Union Army's 7th U.S. Colored Troops as a major, making him the highest-ranking Black officer in the Union Army. Many white officers were resentful of Augusta's high rank and were uncomfortable with the Black surgeon. In his first post at Camp Stanton, Maryland, the white assistant surgeons refused to serve under an African American and requested that he be removed. Augusta was then placed at the Freedmen's Hospital in Washington, D.C. as the first African American surgeon-in-chief, where he managed several African American surgeons, including John H. Rapier, Anderson R. Abbott, and William P. Powell. In 1868, Augusta joined the faculty at Howard University's first medical school, becoming the first African American faculty member.
Now that's one. And here is the second one. Let me see. I gotta switch it out. Hold on. There probably is an easier way to do that, but I have to work on it. All right, let's do this one.
Did you know that Larabelle Drysdale Williams, an amazing woman who made history, was born in 1885 in Plum, Texas? Clara loved learning and worked hard to overcome a lot of racial challenges. In 1908, she became the first African-American woman to graduate from New Mexico College. Clara wasn't allowed to sit inside the classroom because of her skin color. She had to listen to her lectures and take notes from the hallway. But even though it was tough, Clara didn't give up. She graduated with honors and became one of the most influential teachers of her time. Clara taught for over 20 years, helping many students learn and go on to be highly successful. Clara also raised 3 sons, all of which become doctors. In 1961, New Mexico State University honored her by naming a street on campus after her and giving her an honorary degree. Her legacy continues to inspire people to this day. Did you know that Larabelle...
So there we are. I mean, when you think about, why am I doubling?
You didn't sound doubled on our end.
I hear double in my ear. But anyway, if you have to stand outside the classroom in order to, like, every day you go to class, everybody else goes in class, and you get to snoop outside and try to hear and take your, they don't never call you if you have a question. You know, like if you want to clarify something. But she went on to do the amazing things that she did. And this Black doctor in 1825, 200 years ago, he was born, 200 years ago. Imagine what he had to go through in order to become a doctor, which probably made him the best doctor available. These people.
Yeah.
These people.
And now they
cut
want to
off
remove
your
black people
own
from the
nose
services
to spite your face.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing.
Demons.
They will shout, oh, well, why don't you create your own communities? And every time we have, they've thrived and become better and richer than any other communities in this country. And then they burn us down.
That's actually something that came up in a wide conversation. And I always love it when it's like we do. Like, don't think for a second that we have not tried to not fuck. We don't want to fuck with y'all to a certain degree, so we'll go ahead and do our own thing because people say, "Oh, well, do you?" That's always what somebody randomly wants to toss out. But then when we're thriving and surviving and thriving, more so than that, here you come again. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here we come again. We have too many examples of that. So it's not that you don't want, because anytime it affects, what y'all need us to be is exactly what the hell we are. A lot of us are. And few and far between. I don't want to hear about those of us that have and the American. Come on, man. Like, stop. Like, just stop. This is the same old jigaboo dance that we all do. And it's failed us tremendously. The reality is the system is broken, period. And it's not going to be fixed because it's only broken for us. And it was designed to be broken for us. It was not designed to be anything but broken for us. And it works for a lot of people, in order to keep the corporation called the U.S. going, And again, there's some things about Captain Chaos that understands the corporation part, but he just don't know how to do business. Talking about, I'm going to make a deal. Like, all this is not let's make a deal, because the only difference in the corporation called the United States is the fact that we have people and their lives are affected by these movements. We're not commodities. You're not moving inanimate objects. You're moving families and people attached to it. So some of the systems are connected into the everyday life of American people. And he's moving it like it's white cops in the streets. And that ain't what it is. It just ain't what it is, And until we stick together, and I think this is all designed to some degree for us to unify. Because when we do, we'll be unstoppable.
And that's why they keep
unstoppable. And again,
they know that.
They know that. But this is
girl, they know that.
Now we're going back 360 because they know it when Obama became president.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking awesome he was and how he turned the economy around. See, Bush had completely fucked us up to the point that people would have voted for a green M&M. And Obama rejuvenated the automotive industry, which was failing and was about to crash. The economy had already crashed.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing when he was first elected, I went into a diner, and I remember these young white guys, like Italian guys or whatever. They were looking at him on the TV screen that they had in the, up in the corner there. They were like, "Can you fucking believe this shit? Can you fucking believe this shit?" And I'm like, I'm excited, like, I mean, you're young. The world is, it's changing. It's a good thing, but it really motivated them to shut this shit down.
Angered them because
he was beautiful. He had swag. His wife, his kids.
Yep.
Swag.
One wife, 2 kids, not
by the same wife.
Mamas.
And then
no felonies.
Nope. They picked. Okay.
And look, did y'all hear about Elon Muskrat and another baby?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look, nobody cares about all of that because clearly nobody cares about all of that.
Right. They don't
If
care.
either one of them were brown, had melanin, and they had all them baby mamas and all that drama and all this shit.
Right. We always have to be above the guard, the top, and it still
that's
doesn't
why
matter.
when we reach certain levels, we have to be epic.
Yeah.
That's why I have to. I can't speak.
But it doesn't
because
matter. Look how they got rid of the top.
You know where I was getting ready to go, and I can't go there, right, Rez?
That's why Ray and them should be running their local towns. Like again, get off the block and start with council people in your areas. Vote Ray and them in because they know how to
WWE person running the education department. What?
Yeah.
What?
All of that. Again, there's no. First of all, you see the worst of these, the worst of those, rather, sitting in the highest seat of the land. Ain't no reason why Ray and them cannot be up on the voters' block. Ain't no reason why you cannot vote. You listen. If Ray and them is running 3, 4, 5 blocks at a time in your local town, tell Ray.
We always said it. We always said it. Always said it. Them some real businessmen right there. What?
All of them is crooks. All of them. We always, I think that was our dance with them thinking that we had to be so much more to be able to. No, we don't.
Yeah. No,
we don't. Because it still doesn't make a difference. No, we don't. I'm not saying not to ascribe to, but we don't have to.
No, we don't have to, but we are. We are the best of the best when we get to where we got. It's like we've always like our Black History moment. There's no way that woman who learned outside of the classroom was not a fucking genius.
Right, outside.
How do you achieve what she achieved given what she was given?
Listen, before we had the pyramids are still standing. Before we had classrooms.
Right, but how
we have this formalized education system, indoctrination system? Okay, the pyramids are still standing. Hello.
Yeah, it's just we get people crying now because they got to sit in the back.
Right, and again, I can't help but to bring up Amy Comey Barrett now being called a DEI hire.
She could sit over there. She can stay.
I'm just saying. You were put in place for this man, and because now you're no longer loyal to him, and you are moving through your heart and seeing the stuff that's happening,
and you
are now a DEI hire. And so now you get to see.
And she could stay right where she's at. Keep that same energy, Amy, because we know what's organic. And I'm saying this. I say
that's right.
Amy, you stay right where you are. It shouldn't have taken this whole listen, I don't got time for any more fragile revelations rather to whatever it is. It is what it is, and what you do organically is what matters. And I'm not saying you can redeem yourself. Right. You go hard in the paint for someone and something that depresses, suppresses, and oppresses others. You can stay right where you are with your lesson. That's all.
That's right.
You kick you out of the Satan's lair.
Yeah.
Speaking of Satan, there are those who would be king. Who, I'm going to say this, that, something popped up when I was looking for these, and I have no idea why it popped up on YouTube while I was looking for, our Black History moment. And then I wanted to do a Black History with women thing there. And this particular video, which I don't do it very often. I don't share Cheryl and JaVonne stuff up on this thing, like play our music and stuff. But there is a song and it popped up and I had forgotten about this song, which is funny because it was the hardest one for us to perform live. Gigi, you probably will remember it. But I'm going to play it on. Yeah, I don't know if it's one of your faves, but I'm going to play it on the outro because Yeah. And you're gonna giggle a little bit, I think, Rez, because you'll know why I'm saying you said Satan and I thought king, and yeah.
Demons.
Demons, yeah.
Oh, demons.
Oh. Oh, I remember this one.
Make it bigger.
Talking about
Wait.
leaving heartache.
Wait. Where the fuck? How do you
Celebrating the life and a loss.
All right. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold up. We don't need the whole concert. Yeah, so
That was at the
Cotton Club. Yeah.
Cotton Club. Yes. It was
Oh
a nice
my
crowd,
God.
too.
Yes.
God.
That was quite a blessing. We had our band on the drums. We had a black butch, straight up. On the keys, we had a black lesbian. On the lead guitar, we had a white rock and roller. On bass, we had an Asian brother. On percussion, we had a Latino. That was a lot of fun, and it was a blessing, and it was a blessing to do it. But God is king, and that is that.
That's it.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Stay safe, stay aware, remember self-care, wash your hands, wash your ass, and spread your legs. What? Oh, spread love all day. I'm sorry. Spread love all day. Everybody.
Five Calls app, everyone.
5 Calls app.
5 Calls app. Let's go. Uh-oh. I got to press something for us to let's go.
I'll be safe in these streets.
Yeah.
Much love. Peace.
Melody.
Harmony.
Ministry of Sound.
British.
Larry Levan.
Beginning.
Frankie Knuckles.
Ah, my brother.
Love.
God.
Thank you. You're up next, Jay.
Okay. Fried chicken.
Yum.
Harlem.
Vibe.
House music.
My love.
Voice.
Me.
Family.
My life.
That's what's up. That's it right there.
Behind the veil is Anaya Day, y'all.
Hey, this is Anaya Day, and we're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yes! Do you guys watch Queen Sugar?
We do. I do. When I can catch
Okay, well, the past season, they licensed one of my songs called How Many Ways, and it's an R&B ballad. And they're in the diner, and they're having a meeting or a discussion, and my voice is blaring in the background. I had forgotten they licensed it, and I'm watching the show, just like everybody else, and it's like, how many ways can I say? And I was like, I totally forgot. I was like, that's me, Ma! That's my baby!
He said, what happened, Stinky? Never should have told me that.
Oh, Lord.